London, 1888. The Whitechapel district is gripped by fear. A mysterious killer, known only as Jack the Ripper, is stalking the streets, targeting vulnerable women and leaving a trail of brutal murders in his wake. For more than 130 years, the identity of Jack the Ripper has remained one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. But in recent years, a shocking claim has emerged that DNA evidence has finally unmasked the killer. The suspect? A Polish immigrant named Aaron Kosminski. But is this evidence as conclusive as it seems? Let's dive into the story and analyze the claims made by author Russell Edwards. In 2014, author and amateur sleuth Russell Edwards made headlines when he claimed to have solved the Jack the Ripper case. His evidence? A shawl allegedly found at the scene of one of the murders. Catherine Eddowes, the Ripper's fourth victim. Edwards purchased the shawl at an auction and, with the help of DNA experts, claimed to have found traces of DNA linking it to both Eddowes and Aaron Kosminski, a barber who was once a prime suspect in the case. According to Edwards, mitochondrial DNA extracted from the shawl matched descendants of both Eddowes and Kosminski. Mitochondrial DNA is passed down through the maternal line, making it a useful tool for tracing ancestry. Edwards argued that this was the smoking gun, proof that Kosminski was indeed Jack the Ripper. Case closed, right? Not quite, really. Let's take a closer look at the evidence and what Ripper historians have to say about it. First, there's the shawl itself. Its provenance, or history of ownership, is questionable. The shawl was allegedly taken from the crime scene by a police officer, Amos Simpson, who gave it to his wife. But there's no official record of this, and the shawl's journey from 1888 to the present day is murky at best. Second, the DNA analysis has been met with skepticism by many experts. While mitochondrial DNA can suggest a familial link, it's not unique to an individual. In other words, the DNA on the shawl could belong to any of Kosminski's maternal relatives, not necessarily Aaron himself. Dr. Jari Luhalainen, the scientist who conducted the DNA analysis for Edwards, has defended the findings, stating that the DNA match is 100% confirmed. However, other experts have questioned the methodology. Dr. Walter Parson, a forensic scientist, has noted that mitochondrial DNA is not conclusive evidence of identity. He explains, mitochondrial DNA can only tell us that two people share a common ancestor. It cannot pinpoint a specific individual. Then there's Aaron Kosminski himself. He was certainly a suspect at the time, but the evidence against him was circumstantial. Kosminski was a Polish Jew who immigrated to London, and he struggled with mental illness, eventually being committed to an asylum. But was he capable of the calculated brutality of the Ripper murders? Donald Rumbelow, another leading Ripper historian and author of The Complete Jack the Ripper, has expressed doubts about Kosminski's guilt. Rumbelow argues that Kosminski doesn't fit the profile of the killer. He says, Kosminski was a disturbed individual, but there's no evidence to suggest he was violent or capable of the kind of surgical precision seen in the Ripper murders. Of course, Kosminski isn't the only suspect. Over the years, dozens of names have been put forward, from doctors to royalty. Each theory has its flaws, and none have been definitively proven. So, where does that leave us with Russell Edwards' claim? While the DNA evidence is intriguing, it's far from conclusive. The Shaw's questionable history, the limitations of mitochondrial DNA, and the lack of direct evidence tying Kosminski to the murders leave room for doubt. That said, Edwards' work has reignited interest in the case and opened up new avenues for investigation. Perhaps one day, with advances in technology, we'll have a clearer answer. But for now, the identity of Jack the Ripper remains shrouded in mystery.